Here we go. All right. Welcome, welcome. It's a good Friday to you. And this is the weekly wins that we are coming at you with here. We're super excited about some of the stuff that we've hit on this week, and we want to make sure that you are doing the same. Type in the chat where you're listening from and what's your biggest win for the week. What's your biggest win? Wherever this is, wherever you're listening in, type in your biggest win. I want to make sure that you're celebrating your wins. It's really important, right? Because as entrepreneurs, we're focused on problem solving. Problem solving usually means addressing things that don't work. And that's great because that's what we need to be doing. But we also need to be optimizing the things that do work, the things that you accomplished, so that you consistently get that feedback about the amazing things you have done. Because guess what? You are amazing, right? But you need to be crystal clear on what you've done that worked and what you've done that didn't, and debriefing that stuff, but most importantly, celebrating the things that worked. All right. So I'm going to drop in here. One thing that I want to impart on you is a theme that we are adopting and I want to encourage you to also adopt. And that is a season of excellence. We're hearing a lot about the recession, about marketplace challenges, about winter, about wilderness seasons. There's all kinds of words about, I don't care what you call it. We just know that things are coming. And what it happens is when these things are coming, when change is afoot, when confusion, lack of clarity, lack of certainty is happening, the thing that's going to be required from all of us is a new standard of excellence. This is time for you to do things well. Because if you've been in business for the last decade, I got news for you. It's been pretty damn easy. It's been pretty easy because people have been in a buying season. Now we are at a place where that's not the case. Okay. Now people are starting to get nervous. They're getting cautious. They're getting scared. They're thinking a lot more before they're taking action. It requires you to show up as a standard of excellence that they have not had before. You can no longer hope that you're going to do this stuff well. You got to be on point and make sure your business is bulletproof, dialed in, your lead generation, your targeting, your messaging, the things that you're sharing that are important. People, you have to go out of the way. Season of excellence. Embrace that. Type that in the chat. What does that mean to you? Right? What does it mean for you? What's the one area where you got to up level your standards of excellence in this season? Season of excellence. You're going to hear it a lot coming from us. All right. So here's the key. I'm just going to share. But we had some really great partner activity this week, and many of you were involved in that. We've been having a ton of outreach, and I want to. The reason I'm sharing with you, I want you to see this and take it for yourself. We've been reaching out every day. Every day, outreach to our existing partners, to new partners, to invite them to conversations. And I'm just giving you the stats just from this week: 10 outreaches a day. 10 outreaches a day. And right now I've got so much response and messages coming back in that I'm literally, Cindy and I were in the living room last night arguing about it because we're trying to keep up with it, right? Because it's all of it is leading to activity, interviews, talks, things that are happening, right? We are creating SOPs. We literally have a KPI of significance, a key performance indicator of significance in our company right now is how many SOPs we're creating. We're documenting and systematizing everything so that we can be leveraged for us to be effective and to be able to share with our clients, with you as things come up. We're like, yes, we've got a process for that. We've got an SOP for that. We are winning in that area. A big one. Huge activity inside of our SOAR community. SOAR, this, we have a Facebook group, Sales Offers Action and Revenue. And that's one of our small group consulting environments that we work in. And inside of that, we got people taking action. We got people making wins. We got people generating partnerships. We got people that are landing big clients. We got people that are getting exposure and right opportunities, and they're attracting the right people into their world. Exponential activity is happening because they are in action, because they are in a season of excellence, just like you need to be. Okay, community building is coming. Wanted to let you know we're putting some effort and focus in here. We are bringing on some partners who are going to help you generate more leads, sharing you with really important strategies to build community. So that it's not about a list, right? Something that we've done poorly in the past is we've treated our Facebook group, our online communities like a list. We market to them, we pitch to them, we post to them, but we're not building a relationship with them. And we just did a training 2 days ago about the and our edge sales power play. We talked about becoming the person that people say yes to, right? And one of the keys around that is how you show up for the people that you serve, obsessing about their problems and being in the center of their world, knowing that you're thinking about them, you're solving for them, you're sharing with them, continuing, you're building community so that people start having that relationship with you. And then when they're ready to buy, they already know they want to buy from you. So you're not showing up trying to have to prove yourself. You are consistently showing that you know their pains, their problems, their concerns, the consequences of those pains, problems, and concerns, the pain and the consequences of not solving those, and what's awaiting for them when they do. Right. So now people come to us, they just want to know, how does it work? How do we work with you? Instead of, what do you got for them? What's your products? Right. Don't be a product in search of a prospect. Hey, and I want to that's coming. Keep your eyes out. We have partners, experts coming in that they're going to really leverage how this community, our Facebook group, is going to start really blowing up with activity and engagement and community, and want you to be able to be part of it so you can also learn from it. Okay. As it pertains to becoming the person that people say yes to, one of the things that I was talking about is being able to read the room. When we did that training, go into our Facebook group. We have it in there. Well, you're going to want to be in there every Wednesday. Every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific, we're doing our Edge Sales Power Play, and we're coming at you with really powerful insights that are going to help you grow your business, start increasing those standards of excellence so you can be living in this season of excellence as we're moving through, and being able to be bulletproof in your sales process, revenue generation, and making sure that you're making sales every day and becoming the person that people say yes to. But I want to share just one quick story around that, because we talked about being that epicenter, and really being able to understand everything that's happening. And when I was growing up, I'm not going to go into all the story, but I spent time in jail. I was in foster care. I was on the streets and gangs, and I was in jail at 19. And one of the things that I learned was how to read the room. I learned how to read the room and look for friend or foe, right? Asset, ally, or foe, right? Somebody who's an adversary. I'm always looking for who's the people in the room that I needed to make sure I was aware of. What do they need? How am I valuable to them? How can I study them to know the things that matter, not just on a surface level, but to give them the confidence and the certainty that I had their back, that I was valuable to them. And when the first time that I was in jail, I was in a cell with 18 people, but there were only 16 beds, which meant 2 guys slept on the floor. And I didn't want to be one of those 2 guys. And I was in at the time for some marijuana possession for sale stuff. So I got known as the J Man. That's very quickly at day one. That was my nickname, was J Man, not just for Jim, but because rolling J's. And so there was a guy named Rayvon who was the clear alpha in the room, and he was the guy that kind of set the tone in the cell, and everybody took their cues from him. There were a lot of guys that were afraid of him because he was in for some violence, really bad things, and guys didn't want to be on his bad side. I didn't either. I wanted to figure out, how do I become an asset to him? He had to be on high alert all the time, so I was consistently listening to how he talked, what he was looking for, what he was doing, and he was on high edge, because when you're the alpha, when you're the top dog, that usually means that you have to watch your back, because now people want to take you out. And he was on high alert, looking out for everybody who was, quote unquote, on his crew, and always watching for over his back. So he was literally the definition of having to sleep with one eye open. And one thing he really, really wanted all the time was a cigarette. And in prison, one of the biggest pieces of revenue generation is cigarettes, right? You're one of the biggest pieces of value that you can bring. And everybody, if you get from the commissary, if you buy like Marlboros, let's just say they were $5 a pack, but you could get a bag of tobacco and zigzags. And let me tell you, there's more zigzags sold and distributed in behind bars than there are at any liquor store. But It's a story for another day. And inside, it was half the price. So you can buy papers and tobacco for $2.50 instead of $5 for a carton. But they had to be rolled tight. He wanted those, and he wanted me to be able to roll for him because I was the J man. So that was like the expectation from this pothead at the time. And so I went out of my way. I didn't smoke, not cigarettes anyway. And so I was acquiring tobacco and papers because I could roll really tight. So it was like a cigarette. And my whole mission was to roll perfect cigarettes for Rayvon so that he could have the peace and sanity, the relaxation that he came from. That was the thing he needed more than anything, was he needed to be able to relax because he was on high alert, high tension. That made me a valued asset to him. That was like his secret weapon. And he felt like I had his back. So all of a sudden, I became under the protection. I became a resource to him. Again, not because I could provide something, but because I took the initiative to figure out what he needed and brought it to him. And he saw that I was something useful to him. And that was more than just providing an asset, but somebody who was paying attention to figure out what he needed and why. And there's no difference in that. And forgive the example, but that was the reality. That's where I learned this stuff, was on the streets. And in business, it's no different. You got to spend your time paying attention, obsessing over the problems, helping understand who all the people around you. How do you become an asset to them? To the people that matter, to the people that you can actually solve a problem for, the people that matter to you in your world, the people who are looking up to you as the leader, as that larger than life character, as that person who can solve the problems for them, like we do in your sales process, like we do in making sure that your business is designed to make revenue every day and that you show up as the person that people say yes to, the right people, positioned well, powerfully, and compelling. Right? That's the game that we're playing. That's what we're here to help you with. So I want to know from you, what is the thing that you need to be positioning in front of your people for them to know that you know about them? Right? I got more trainings coming up. We're going to be doing a lot of these quick hitters here. And, one that's coming up is, what are the things that you need to know about, that your clients need to know about you, about themselves, and about their situation, to know that they should be taking the right steps, the next steps, that they're in the right place and they're moving in the right direction, right? I got a whiteboard training that we're going to walk through. We're going to tease on that next week, as well as a powerful way to be able to move people through an offer that's very natural, conversational, compelling, clear, and lands the deal. Right? We got a lot coming for you. Stay tuned, check in here. I'd love to know from you, what are your big wins? What are your takeaways from this? And what are you doing in the season of excellence to up level your game and ensure that you're bulletproof coming through this season of excellence, so that you know exactly how you're going to earn revenue, where it's coming from, how much you're going to gain as we move through this time? Because if you don't have that dialed in, you're going to be living on fighting off the table scraps from other people. And we don't want that for you. Right. So appreciate you being here. Wrap up your week. Let me know what's going on and what's good with you. And we'll see you back in here Monday for another update. And then our trainings that are coming up. We got a lot of announcements coming. Be in the Facebook group for the Edge Sales Power Play on Wednesdays, and our upcoming trainings that are being announced here on the page. So let me know what you're looking for, and we'll make sure that we put things out that will serve you well as a scaling entrepreneur that is setting the stage and setting the pace for the people that you serve. All right. Thanks for trusting me to be part of your success team. We will see you on the next one.